Hey everyone, welcome back to Inside the Cage. Dana White goes off on bad stoppage. In the recent developments at UFC Fight Night in Austin, Dana White is straight up fuming. See, he's out here saying the delayed stoppage was one of the worst scenes that he has ever seen in his professional life. On the other side, this referee, Garry, is catching some serious heat. During the showdown between Jalen Turner and Bobby Green, he was not at the moment. That's why Dana White is not holding back on the criticism. He's probably watching the replay with a real headshaker. Also, Dana didn't sugarcoat the whole situation. He bluntly stated,
he knows that he made a mistake tonight, and he does not feel good about it. So, yeah.
Is that just like the heat of the moment?
It's unfortunate. Is he what?
Is that just the heat of the moment, you think? He just didn't notice? It looked like Bobby was...
You'd have to ask him that question, but yeah. Definitely a bad stoppage.
So, get this. After that whole first-round drama in the lightweight showdown, Bobby Green didn't need anyone to hold his hand out of the octagon. Despite all the chaos, Green pulls a classy move and hits up social media to give a shout-out to Turner, congratulating him on the win. Meanwhile, Turner also mentioned some facts in his interview about his thought process during the fight. He did have a moment of consideration about stopping the fight, but he wanted to estimate his power.
Bobby's tough, you know what I mean? Like, Bobby's a really tough fighter. It is what it is, and he was healthy, he was coherent, he was good after. You know, we had good words, so I'm happy he was in good health, decent health, you know, so it is what it is.
Check this out. Michael Bisping didn't hold back. He straight up called it disgusting. Here, the fallout from that fight is like wildfire on social media, and Daniel Cormier is right in the middle of it. The former two-weight UFC champ didn't pull any punches. He straight up called it one of the absolute worst stoppages in MMA history. And Dustin Poirier, who slapped the label of a horrible stoppage on it. Now, who said the fight game was just about punches and kicks? It's a whole narrative, my friend. Warrior of Bare Knuckle called out. Well, Mike Perry is on a mission for some bare knuckle glory. After winning the title at BKFC 56, he's setting his sights on the OG of bare knuckle boxing. He has big goals for his professional life. While the fight game never lacks in drama, and with Perry gunning for the original bare knuckle boxer, it's shaping up to be one of those throwback battles. Recently, Perry gave his statement that he is not just calling out for a fight, he's reaching back to the roots of bare knuckle boxing, paying homage to Masvidal's legacy, and proposing a showdown that could be a game changer. It's fight talk, with a mix of respect and a dash of nostalgia for the fight fans out there. A definite tough fight, the toughest out there, would be the original bare knuckle boxer. I watched him on Kimbo Fights on YouTube in high school. I know calling him out could open a whole new world between us, but man to man, for the prize of a lifetime, it would be an honor to bare knuckle fight. A game-bred fighter, Jorge Masvidal. Moreover, Mike Perry throws down the metal glove and challenges Jorge Masvidal, the OG of bare knuckle boxing. Whereas Masvidal hasn't dropped any hints about whether he's up for Perry's challenge. Now Perry's out here, calling for the ultimate bare knuckle battle, and Masvidal's got the invitation in his inbox. Now, the suspense is real, my friend. It's one of those wait-and-see moments in the fight game, and we're all on the edge of our seats for Masvidal's response. The drama continues. CM Punk's WWE return versus Tito Ortiz's UFC comeback. Here is an update for the wrestling fans from Survivor Series War Games 2023. So guess what? Randy Orton and CM Punk both made their WWE TV comebacks. At that point, former UFC heavyweight champ Daniel Cormier had some thoughts, and he mentioned the reality on the MMA Hour podcast. In actuality, Cormier's enjoying Punk's epic return and soaking in the surprise as a whole. Simply, he's feeling a bit bad for the Viper, Randy Orton.
So the thing about wrestling today is like, you know, if you're on the internet at all, everybody's guessing.
Yeah.
It was in Chicago. So you thought that there was a time, maybe, you know, I liked it, but if you're Randy Orton, you're pissed off, right? I mean, Randy Orton comes out, muscles popping everywhere. Boom, boom. He's all
he looked incredible. The freaking abs. He's like a 10-pack. Yeah.
I mean, he's like popping, big chest, big shoulders, big muscles, and then look in my eyes. It's like, oh, Randy Orton's back. Let's put him back in the tag team with Matt Riddle. Because now we're all talking about CM Punk, right?
So, he's over on the MMA Hour podcast, and he's not just talking about Punk's WWE return. He's throwing it back to UFC Hall of Famer Tito Ortiz. And yes, we all know Cormier's got that ringside analyst vibe going on. It's like he's the commentator for the drama that unfolds in both worlds, the squared circle and the octagon.
Tito Ortiz coming back. Tito Ortiz coming back. Because right now, like, Tito Ortiz doesn't really come around at all. You know, I'm obviously at the UFC all the time. There's not much mention made of him. He was like one of the biggest stars in the early days. Obviously, CM Punk was much more new generation, but probably like a Tito Ortiz type of guy, a guy that left on bad terms.
Collectively, wrestling and MMA are two different fields. But as Cormier points out, they've got some surprisingly similar plot lines. Talk about a crossover event in the world of combat sports. Ian Garry is at the edge of a custody clash. Ian Garry gearing up to face Vicente Luque at UFC 296 on December 16th, but right now, he's in the middle of a full-blown cyber showdown with MMA fans. And get this, it's not just your regular trash talk, it's disclosed in the court documents of Neil Magny's custody battle. Rumors that Layla, Ian's wife, has her ex-husband living with them. And there's this eyebrow-raising book she wrote titled How to Be a Sports Wag, but apparently, it doesn't support all the wild conclusions fans are jumping to. Most importantly, she seems to have an ability to direct Ian's bombastic behavior. While Alan describes that she tried to set up a fight with Khamzat Chimaev in an elevator. Now, all this publicity isn't exactly painting Garry in the best light. People are side-eyeing him, and then Neil Magny drops a quote that adds fuel to the fire. Additionally, before their fight at UFC 292, Neil made some dumb comments about disciplining his kids.
Screenshots being taken of headlines saying that, like, I'm a child abuser and I do this to my kids and that kind of thing. There were screenshots being taken and put into apps and things like that are being admissible in court where I'm literally fighting for custody of my children, so I'd be a present father for them and that kind of thing. So I can't sit there and brush it off. It was actually some significant consequences that came about with that statement or whatever. But at the end of the day, all I can do is hold myself accountable for the things that comes out of my mouth.
However, Neil Magny's giving his fans the update they needed. He's in a very good place with his kids and their mom. Probably they've hit that sweet spot where everyone's on the same page, and the kids are the main priority. And get this, Magny's not just rolling with the punches in his personal life, he's also reshuffled his fight camp. No more just showing up without a game plan. He's got a larger strategy in motion. Now mark your calendars because Magny's making a comeback on January 20th, 2024, facing off against Mike Malott at UFC 297. The man's not letting anything hold him back, and we're here for the comeback vibes. Dana White reveals the dark side of fighters' happy retirements. You know, the big boss of the UFC has seen legends come and go, but this time, Khabib Nurmagomedov's departure hit him right in the feels. Dana White confesses that Khabib's hurt the most. It seems that Dana's recalling about the good old days when Khabib was dominating the lightweight division, and now he's left with that post-breakup kind of sadness. In an interview, Dana White opened up about how Khabib's retirement hit him the hardest. According to White, typically when a fighter decides to retire, he's happy for them because they've achieved all they could in the sport, and it's time to move on. However, with Khabib, it was a different story. According to him, Khabib still had a lot more to offer in terms of accomplishments and contributions to the sport. Also, he pointed to the passing of Khabib's father as a significant factor. White highlighted the financial aspect, mentioning that Khabib had earned so much money that he didn't need to fight anymore. This financial security played a role in Khabib's decision to retire, allowing him the freedom to step away from the sport.
The toughest retirement for me, Khabib, was a tough retirement. Because usually when it's time for them to retire, I'm happy for them to retire. It's over. You've accomplished everything that you could possibly accomplish. Why keep doing this? Because I think Khabib had so much more to offer.
Imagine what you and Conor would do in another fight. Just saying. I'm just saying.
And so much more to accomplish. But I think when his dad passed away, he was done. Plus, he made so much money, he never has to do anything ever again.
So it's a chapter that makes you ponder the fleeting nature of greatness and leaves us all for just one more round with the mighty Khabib. All right, guys, that's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. See you at the next one. Until then, goodbye.